The year is 2025. The global economy, still reeling from the pandemic, faces a new threat, a trade war. This time, it's a full-blown economic conflict, with tariffs as the weapons of choice. At the heart of this storm is the United States, led by Donald Trump back in the Oval Office. Trump's aggressive America First rhetoric has rewritten the rules of global trade. His administration has imposed hefty tariffs on imports from Canada, Mexico and China. This policy has ignited a firestorm of retaliation. The consequences are far-reaching. Global markets are in turmoil and the spectre of inflation looms large. The trade war has created a climate of fear and instability, threatening decades of economic integration. This is not a game of winners and losers. It's a lose-lose situation for all involved, with the potential to inflict lasting damage on the global economy. The Trump administration's trade war began with a bang. The US imposed a 25% tariff on most imports from Canada and Mexico, and a 20% tariff on a wide range of Chinese goods. These tariffs signaled a dramatic shift in US trade policy. Trump cited unfair trade practices, national security concerns, and the need to protect American jobs. He accused China of intellectual property theft and currency manipulation, blamed Mexico for the influx of fentanyl into the US, and criticized Canada for its trade surplus in dairy products. We're losing billions, hundreds of billions of dollars with these countries, and we're not going to take it anymore, Trump declared. We're going to bring back our jobs, we're going to protect our workers, and we're going to make America great again. These protectionist measures, reminiscent of the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act of 1930, have sent shockwaves through the global economy. The tariffs, targeting a wide range of goods from automobiles and machinery to agricultural products and consumer electronics, have disrupted supply chains, increased costs for businesses and consumers, and fueled fears of a global trade war. The response from America's trading partners was swift and decisive. Canada, Mexico and China, refusing to be bullied, retaliated with their own tariffs, targeting key US exports. Canada imposed tariffs on a range of US products, including steel, aluminum and consumer goods. Mexico followed suit, targeting agricultural products, bourbon and steel. China, with its vast economy and trade relationship with the US, retaliated with tariffs on soybeans, automobiles and other goods. Canada will not back down, declared Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, condemning the US tariffs as unjustified and unacceptable. He vowed to defend Canadian interests and workers, stating that a trade war is in no one's interest. Mexico's President, Claudia Sheinbaum, echoed these sentiments, calling the US tariffs unfair and illegal and pledging to respond forcefully to defend our economy. China, too, condemned the US actions, accusing the Trump administration of protectionism and unilateralism and vowing to take all necessary measures to protect its interests. The tit-for-tat tariff war has escalated tensions between the US and its trading partners, casting a shadow over their economic and political relationships. The trade war has hit Canada particularly hard, straining its close relationship with the United States. The two countries, sharing the world's longest undefended border and deeply integrated economies, now find themselves locked in a bitter trade dispute. The tariffs have impacted a wide range of Canadian industries, from steel and aluminum producers to farmers and manufacturers. The Canadian lumber industry, already subject to US tariffs since 2017, has been hit with further duties, driving up costs for US home builders and consumers. These tariffs are hurting our businesses, our workers and our families, said Peter Exotta, CEO of the Port of Vancouver, highlighting the port city's reliance on North American trade. They're creating uncertainty and instability, and they are putting our economy at risk. The impact extends beyond economics. The trade war has strained the social fabric of communities along the border, where people have long enjoyed close ties. Canadian citizens offended by Trump's rhetoric and actions have expressed anger and disappointment, leading to calls for boycotts of US goods. Section 5. Mexican standoff tensions south of the border. The trade war has also inflamed tensions between the US and Mexico, two countries already grappling with complex issues related to immigration, drug trafficking and border security. The tariffs, impacting Mexican agricultural products like avocados, tomatoes and berries, have hurt Mexican farmers and businesses. The The US auto industry, heavily reliant on Mexican manufacturing, has also felt the pinch, as tariffs on Mexican-made auto parts have driven up costs. These tariffs are a disaster for both of our countries, said a representative of the Mexican Avocado Growers Association. They are hurting our farmers, they are raising prices for American consumers, and they are doing nothing to address the issues that we face. The trade war has further complicated efforts to address the issue of fentanyl trafficking, a major concern for the US. Mexico, already cooperating with the US on this front, has bristled at Trump's accusations and threats, arguing that tariffs are not the solution. Section 6. The Dragon responds, China's calculated retaliation. China, the world's second-largest economy and America's largest trading partner, has responded to the trade war with a calculated mix of retaliation and strategic maneuvering. The Chinese government, wary of escalating the conflict into a full-blown trade war, has chosen its targets carefully. It has imposed tariffs on US soybeans, a major agricultural export, and automobiles, hitting at Trump's political base. China has also threatened to restrict exports of rare earth minerals, essential for the production of electronics and other high-tech products, which could disrupt global supply chains. China does not want a trade war, but it is not afraid of one, said a spokesperson for the Chinese Ministry of Commerce. We are determined to defend our interests and we will take all necessary measures to do so. However, China's retaliation goes beyond tariffs. The government has intensified its efforts to reduce its reliance on the US economy, seeking to strengthen ties with other trading partners, particularly in Europe and Asia. It has also accelerated its efforts to boost domestic consumption and promote technological innovation, aiming to become more self-sufficient. Section 7. Economic upheaval, uncertainty reigns. The trade war has unleashed a wave of uncertainty and volatility in the global economy. Financial markets, already jittery from geopolitical tensions and the lingering effects of the pandemic, have reacted negatively to the escalating trade dispute. Stock markets around the world have experienced sharp declines, reflecting investor concerns about the impact of the trade war on corporate profits and global growth. The US dollar, often seen as a safe haven asset, has strengthened against other currencies as investors seek refuge from the storm. The trade war is creating a lot of uncertainty and volatility in the markets, said a market analyst. Businesses are holding back on investment, consumers are becoming more cautious, and there is a real risk that this could tip the global economy into recession. The tariffs, by increasing the cost of imported goods, have also fueled fears of inflation. Businesses facing higher costs for raw materials and components have been forced to raise prices, passing on the burden to consumers. This, in turn, could lead to a wage price spiral, further fueling inflation. Section 8. Political fallout, a house divided. The trade war has not only roiled the global economy, but also deepened political divisions within the US and strained relations with its allies. Within the US, the trade war has drawn criticism from both Democrats and Republicans. Democrats have accused Trump of recklessness, arguing that his tariffs are hurting American businesses and consumers and undermining the global trading system. Some Republicans, particularly those representing agricultural states heavily dependent on exports to China, have also expressed concerns about the impact of the tariffs. This trade war is a disaster for American farmers, said a Republican senator from a Midwestern state. Our farmers are losing markets, our prices are falling, and our rural communities are suffering. Internationally, the trade war has strained relations between the US and its allies, particularly Canada and Mexico. Trump's confrontational approach and his willingness to impose tariffs on close trading partners have raised doubts about the US's commitment to free trade and its reliability as an ally. Section 9. Conclusion. A world held hostage. The 2025 trade war, ignited by the Trump administration's protectionist policies, has cast a long shadow over the global economy. The tariffs, met with retaliation from Canada, Mexico, and China, have disrupted global trade flows, fueled inflation, and injected a dose of uncertainty into the global economic outlook. The consequences extend beyond economics. The trade war has strained relationships between the US and its closest allies, eroded trust in the global trading system, and deepened political divisions within the US. It has also raised concerns about a broader shift towards protectionism, which could further fragment the global economy and undermine global cooperation. As the trade war drags on, the world watches and waits, hoping for a resolution. But with each passing day, the stakes get higher, the damage mounts, and the path to a solution becomes more elusive. The world, held hostage by the whims of a trade war, can only hope for a return to reason and a recommitment to the principles of free trade and cooperation that have underpinned global prosperity for decades.